Typically when it's nighttime, when it's cold, the lotus flower closes up, and in the daytime when it's warm, the lotus flower opens up. Similar to that is the mechanism in the way that our homes work. They're folded up in factory when they're ready to be deployed, and then on site they unfold and they're ready for use. So we called it the Lotus system. My name's Rohan Kulkarni. I'm the founder and CEO of Rohe Homes, a construction technology company that is focused on accelerating construction, creating sustainable communities. We've worked with a bunch of various partners to help develop some of our clean technology initiatives. With Foresight BC, we're working on creating a wood fiber insulated panel that will help us reduce the cost of construction as well as increase efficiency in production. What we're doing is we're taking off-cut fibers from the lumber industry and we're repurposing those shavings into wood fiber insulation.
The name Rohe Homes is from Mies van der Rohe. He's an architect from the 50s and 60s, and he was actually the godfather of minimalism. So a lot of his work is function over form. So he focused really on developing something that was simple but effective, and I think that's what we integrated within our business.
Rohe Homes was incepted when I was taking a trip back to India, visiting my dad's village. It was a remote area where housing supply was a shortage. And I spoke to the local governments and tried to understand the solution that they were proposing. They were trying to take people, displace them from rural, remote settings, move them to these project housing in urban settings. But they were fishermen, they were farmers. They were used to living in rural settings. That's where the idea first started. How can we create housing for these people rather than displace them and bring them to the housing? And that's where we started developing this prefabricated modular solution.
Construction is slow, it's tedious, it's inefficient. So now having an opportunity where if we can leverage technology, we can create more housing for people like myself. People that are struggling to attain housing as a young family, older kids, even retirees. Everyone's kind of facing the same challenge of getting quality housing here in Canada.
When we started, we were trying to figure out really how we can take a 500 square foot volume and be able to efficiently transport it to a site. So what we discovered was a technology that takes this 500 square foot space and we're able to compress it to a third of its size, deliver it to site, and then unfold it on site in just 4 hours. But we don't have the expertise of material science or structural engineering, and that's where having partners like Foresight to collaborate that are innovative, sustainable, and have this vision of creating a better tomorrow creates this impact that allows this fostering of innovation and fostering of ideas when people come together and they can bring their individual skill sets to a specific project for sort of a common good.
First, I found a video where you guys were doing a delivery on the Sunshine Coast, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I watched it a few times, and so then I reached out and showed it to John too. But being in Squamish, nobody wants to do really small jobs, and a 735 square foot carriage house is considered small. Yeah. And plus, I figured out going prefab is probably 50% cheaper than going traditional stick framing, all done on site.
The DeShooter family, they came to us early last year. They were looking to build a backyard home.
And they have quite a bit of space in their backyard. They right now just have a pool and a couple sheds there. And what they wanted to do was they have an older daughter who is now growing a family, and she needs more space. She was living in a smaller unit away from the family. But with the housing affordability, the challenge with housing supply, of course, they said, hey, let's figure out a way where we can still live together.
And this is creating this idea of multi-generational living where we're seeing more and more families moving towards this model where they're able to live together and they're able to maximize the property that they currently have. Ever since moving to BC, I've seen that BC is a leader in clean technology. We feel proud to be part of that network. We want to create housing security for future generations. That's the legacy we want to leave behind. Right now, there aren't many companies and there aren't many organizations that are looking out for people.
You want to help provide something that can actually benefit and be a social change for people. We developed a technology that we were testing out, and what Foresight did for us was really empower us to take that next step.